Hey, good morning, gang. It's Matt Modi with OddsJam. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to bet some MLB player props. I have a couple bets here today that I really like. Of course, pulled from the OddsJam Positive EV page. So if you're tailing, would love to hear it. Comment on the video, like the video. Also would appreciate if you could subscribe. And then if you want to find me, again, my name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and betting analyst for OddsJam. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can at my handle, Modi_Matt, where I post some more bets, some more analysis, and some dumb talk there as well. But every single bet that I get, of course, I get from the Positive EV page. For player props specifically, the strategy is a little bit different. Just to detail that for a little bit. Number one, the most important difference is the market width. The market width for player props, I'm generally looking at anything that is 40 cents and below. So this Gleyber Torres one is in range. This Logan Webb one is within range. And a lot of these player props that are on the page now are actually within range. But there's one specifically that I wanted to highlight that I think is a really, really good play. And it's this Darvish over 18.5 player outs. Now, unfortunately, we only, as of right now, we're still working on it, only pulling odds for Caesars. So this is the only point of comparison that currently has odds. The books haven't updated yet. Not all of them have player outs. But I think this is a really good bet for a couple reasons. Number one, it is positive EV. Caesars has it at minus 125. The OddsJam line has it at minus 150. With the VIG removed, it's at minus 128. The VIG is essentially just the juice that sportsbooks price up odds themselves. And this OddsJam line is pulled from the most accurate bookmaker in the world, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. Basically, the way it works is this sportsbook that OddsJam pulls these lines from, they accept the most money from sharps and they don't have any limits or anything like that. So they generally have the most efficient betting market, which means that the lines are generally going to be the most accurate of what they should be for a play. So this one, that line is minus 128 with the VIG removed. So we're getting it on Caesars at minus 125. And this page on the far left, this percent here, essentially shows you the edge that you are getting for this specific play. I still will play some with lower EV, like this one is only 1.19%, because I still think you can find valuable plays even towards the lower end. You just have to look into it a little bit. And this Darvish one, I did a little bit of research, and I think it's a really awesome bet. So the play, of course, is Darvish over 18.5 outs. I've already gone over the math with you. This is a positive EV play. I also like it just for standard baseball reasons. And let's look into it. So 18.5 outs essentially means he needs to go over 6 innings. If he goes 6 1/3 inning, then he would have 19 outs, and that would qualify. Let's look at Darvish's stats. The last time he didn't record more than 18 outs was May 13th. So he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 starts in a row where he had over 18. He also did it in the one right before that, so it's 6 out of the last 7. And the one that he missed was against a really good hitting team in the Braves, and he had 17 outs, so he was still really close. Even if you look at his last 10, he's been hovering around this 18 out stat. So that's why I like it. And then looking at the Diamondbacks specifically, so here I have up, it's just MLB.com, batting stats. OPS is not the perfect way to look at batting stats, but it's generally going to be the most accurate if you want to detail how good an offense is. And the Diamondbacks are all the way down at 24th. So I'm expecting Darvish to have a good game, go over his 18.5 outs. So this is going to be my first player prop. Unfortunately, I am in a non-legal betting state. I did a ton of moving yesterday, so I'm unable to lock this one in. So I'm not going to be able to physically place the bet, but I'm still adding it to my Matt's Bets spreadsheet. As you can see here, the play was on Caesars, and I'm just basically what I'm doing now is I'm entering all the information, and then I'm also calculating my expected profit. I think this is helpful to understand that sports betting, it's supposed to compound like almost like interest, compound. Your profits are supposed to steadily rise as opposed to a get rich quick scheme overnight. So I placed a couple bets yesterday with the expected profit of roughly $6.20, just because that there's a lower EV percentage. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad bet. But sometimes you'll notice, and I just started tracking this net expected profit. That's why you don't see it up here. But you'll notice that over time, your real profits, your actual net profit and loss will start to equal your expected profit and losses over time. So that's why I'm going to start calculating it just to show you the transition of how that works over time. This play was 1.19%. So literally all I'm doing is just multiplying the money I wagered, which was $75, multiplied by the expected value percent. In this case was 1.19, which gives me an expected profit of roughly 90 cents for this bet. Now again, I'm not breaking the bank with any of these bets. Again, it's supposed to be a slow burn, which is exactly what I'm doing in this one. But this Darvish one, I think, is a really, really good play. So that's why it's going to be my first official play. Darvish over 18.5 outs on Caesars Sportsbook. All right, and here's the next one that I'm going to lock in. This is going to be my last player prop for today, so I'm just going to have two for you. And it's Xander Bogaerts to go over 1.5 player bases, total bases. So the only thing to note here is that walks, hits by pitch, errors, none of that count, but two singles, that would be two. A double, that would be two. So that's kind of how it works. Walks don't count. Any type of hit does. And the play here is at plus 105 on DraftKings Sportsbook. The sharpest sportsbook in the world prices this at minus 113 with only 30 cents in market width, so it's well within range there. And the OddsJam line prices this at roughly minus 101 with the VIG removed. So that gap between minus 101 and plus 105 is what has positive expected value with a profit margin of roughly 3.33%. So this one has a little bit higher EV than the previous one. And then for baseball reasons, I like this one. Xander Bogaerts, I looked up his stats. He's gone over this in 7 of his last 10 games. I guess I should pull that up here. He's gone over that in, like I said, 7 of his last 10 games. He's been batting really well. I mean, he missed it in his last game, but 2 hits, 3 hits. This one against the 16th against the Athletics, he missed, went 1 for 5. But as you can see, generally hot batter. And for batting props, I take a lot of emphasis into immediate recent trends, not with counting the very last game, but 2 of his last 3, 7 of his last 10, all that stuff. Because batting is as much mental as it is physical, and if you're in a cold streak, sometimes it can get in a batter's head. And then also I like it because generally this pitching matchup is not a great one. Alex Fado, Josh Winkowski, 2 not great pitchers between the Tigers and the Red Sox. I'm expecting a lot of runs in this game, which means that I'm expecting a lot of at-bats for Xander and just a lot of opportunities to get those over 1.5 total bases. And then looking at all the markets, so DraftKings prices it at plus 105. The OddsJam line prices this at minus 117. FanDuel, which is one of the more sharper books in terms of pricing player props, has this at minus 115. And then 2 other books, Caesars and BetMGM, they just have it at even money. So this plus 105 is the only book that is above even money at plus 105. So I think it's a good enough of a discrepancy, and it's something that I'm going to add to my selection of bets. Xander Bogaerts, I'm going to take him to go over 1.5 total bases. And this was on DraftKings, and this is going to be a 2-unit $50 play for me. Actually, no, sorry. This is going to be a 3-unit $75 play for me, so just the same as the Darvish one. 2 3-unit plays. The EV percent on this one was 3.33. So to look at my expected profit margin, it's a little bit higher, obviously, because the EV percentage is higher, which roughly $2.50, which brings my total expected profit for these 2 bets roughly $3.40. So again, not breaking the bank here, but I did have a little bit of lower dollar totals as well as low EV percentage. But I still think they're really good bets as detailed. So I would recommend tailing. Again, Darvish over 18.5 outs. Xander Bogaerts over 1.5 total bases. If you are tailing, I would love to hear it. Again, hit me up at my Twitter handle. Let me know you're tailing, Modi_Matt. Also, comment on the video. We monitor the comments. Love all the feedback there as well. And then, of course, if you could like the video and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But as far as this video goes, that is all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.